On this episode of the Infowars News Blitz, Obama calls for mandatory voting, and NSA Whistleblower says we're no longer a country with a government, and feds prepare to invade Texas. That and a lot more, so stay tuned. Okay, first, this is the first of three red link articles, so I'm gonna get into that right now. The first article is titled, Obama calls for mandatory voting. Underneath it, it says, it would be transformable if everybody voted, he said. It was written by Kit Daniels. Basically, the article says here that the Obama administration has given 1.7 million worker permits to aliens whose illegal status is unknown. 1.2 invulnerable impacts for opportunities for the workers in the U.S. damages the integrity of the system and encourages illegal citizens. Jessica M. Velger of the Center for Economic Studies wrote, work permits are getaway documents to driver's license, which is then in turn allows non-citizens to illegally vote in elections because the driver's license bureaus in several states, such as Ohio and Kansas, lack the manpower to cross-check registration forms with voter immigration status. It is guaranteed it will happen. Kansas Secretary of State Chris W. Kowak told the Washington Times. And there's a video here. It says you gotta move the march to 7:05. It's just lawless. So I'm gonna basically I'm basically gonna play it, and I'm actually gonna move it to that point. Okay? So, here it is, folks. Hope you actually enjoy it.
In Australia and some other countries, there's mandatory voting. It would be transformative if everybody voted. That would counteract money more than anything. If everybody voted, then it would completely change the political map in this country. Because the people who tend not to vote are young, they're lower income, they're skewed more heavily towards immigrant groups and minority groups.
And also illegal. Basically, they already took over the power grab, and they're already and the borders are wide open. Why stop there? Alright, this is Red Lake article number 2. And the article is titled, NSA Whistleblower. We're no longer a country with a government. We're a government with a country. Underneath it says, former high-level intelligence officer wanted to totalitarian slide into a controlled society. It was written by Mikhail Thielen. And the article says here that Benny, a 36-year-old agent veteran who blew the whistle on a domestic surveillance grid in 2010, warned the U.S. that the U.S. was sliding close to a totalitarianism under the NSA plan for controlled society. I basically believe us moving to a controlled society. It's a totalitarian state where the government wants to be in charge, Benny says. When Reagan said, we're a country with a government. I think we're now a government with a country. Highlighted highlighted the NSA's continued deception on the scope and scale of domestic and international surveillance programs. Benny pointed to historically dangerous talking points currently used by the agency to keep the American public in the dark. During his tenure at the NSA, Benny witnessed firsthand opposing surveillance tactics of groups such as East Germany's secret police, commonly known as the Stasi, giving him a unique historical sight onto the dangers of unchecking whatever. The fact is basically, oh yeah, I found it. It's of the dangers of unchecked international intelligence powers. I mean, there are two links here saying that, and I kind of believe them. I mean, we're Nazi Germany, folks. And it's kind of sad that nobody cares. We're like a pot. We're like this frog in a boiling pot. You put the frog in the boiling pot, you jump out. However, if you put the frog in the pot of water and you turn it up just slightly, we're basically passing out now. And we're gonna die as a country soon. And that's the truth. I mean, basically, that's what's happening now. Okay, folks, this is the last Red Lake article of the day here. My God, red. I'm red with envy. Well, you know what I mean. But anyway, the title of the article is basically Feds prepare to invade Texas, list state as hostile. This was written by Infowars.com. Basically, James Helms has a challenging 8 weeks joint military and insurgency LA unconventional warfare UW exercise conducted through Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, Nevada, and Colorado. And also, basically, they've also added 2 new states already, I think Indiana and Florida. But anyway, according to the unclassified military document, according to the training drill, which runs from July 15th through September 15th, multiple branches of the U.S. military, including Green Beret, Navy SEALs, and the 82nd Airborne Division, will participate in 8 weeks of a long exercise, which will result in the increasing aircraft in the area at night. According to the document, Texas was chosen due to the state's historical supportive efforts to our soldiers, airmen, marines, and soldiers to fight the enemy of the United States. In 2012, the Department of Homeland Security study characterized Americans suspicious of Central Federal authorities and irrelevant liberty as extreme right-wing terrorists. And just last year, the U.S. Special Forces and Commandos training with troops from the 16 foreign nations, including Colombia, France, Germany, and Tampa Bay, Florida, participating how to coordinate aerial, ground, and intercepting operations. I mean, basically, I'm at a loss here, but here's the link here for you to read. So, that's the link. Here's a video clip of it here from Alex Jones' show. I hope you just listen to it.
So now for 4 or 5 days, they've had the different publications, Stars and Stripes, Military.com, and others going, we don't know if the document's real, but these conspiracy theorists, claim that we want to take over Texas and Utah this summer and martial law. We're not going to have martial law this summer.
You notice how they don't deny the operation, though, whatsoever? They just keep trying to, move the attention away from the fact that that's going on and just keep throwing out the conspiracy term and keep attacking us. So it takes people's attention off of the fact that there is a mission going to happen, just like it says in the documents. They're not denying it.
And then you got contacted by one of your friends that you served with saying, shut up, it's a psyop, get you none of your business.
Yeah.
And then I have the Washington Post, U.S. repeals propaganda ban, spreads government-made news. I want to get your take on this, Joe, but giving people background here. They're now in Army Times today saying the headline on Infowars reads, Feds preparing to invade Texas, lists state as hostile. State site founder Alex Jones said in a taped segment that it's likely preparation for military actions to follow an imminent financial collapse on the end of Barack Obama's presidential term. In another segment on the site, they try to act like we're confused. No, we're throwing out different options here, different scenarios. Joe Biggs, cited as a veteran of Afghanistan and Iraq, you've been in the Army Times many times. I mean, they know loading munitions, said the exercises would prepare troops to throw citizens in FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Camps, citing as evidence the military's desire to train in an environment similar to where they'll fight. Well, they say in the document, to win our hearts and minds. Then they go on, but if you read the whole article, they call us conspiracy theorists. They say, oh, it's for overseas. Well, obviously it has dual uses, but they never debate the stacks of articles that we show in our video on Infowars.com. It's red linked right now that I shot last night. Army and MSM launched disinfo psyop against American people. We show more than 40 news articles and Rand Corporation and Pentagon documents admitting the main missions conservatives, libertarians, gun owners, and Tea Party, every chance they get during an emergency, they're gun confiscating to get to see if the military will do it. And so it's not that we're against the military. We're against them being put in this position. And, Joe, the reason we know about this is because the military has been leaking the info before it was even declassified.
Well, there you go, folks. And I also put this article on the forumsite.com, and they're all saying Al knows to cook. Let me tell you people something. If this thing goes through, your ass is grass. Enough said, alright? Well, that's all the articles I have for you today. If you'd like to read more about these articles, please go to the links below, or go to Infowars.com, or BlitzBand.com. There you can find hundreds of articles just like this one I have for you today. This is the Infowars News Blitz, live from Theme Region number 3. Please like, subscribe, and donate. Bye-bye.